Welcome back to the online classes of physics. This is your Naima Miss back again with a new lesson, that is refraction of light on the plane surface. Okay, so as far as I remember, I do think that you all also remember that we have learned about the reflection of light. So in our 7th class, what did we learn? What is reflection of light? We have seen that in reflection of light, the incident ray is falling on this object and it is getting reflected back. Yes, and there it is forming a normal, and we can see there the incident ray. We can find here incident ray. We can find here reflected ray, and we can also see normal, right? But here also there is some same case. Here we see in place of reflected ray we see refracted ray. Here incident and normal are same, but what is the difference between reflection and refraction, that we are going to learn in our class. You might have observed that the coin, when placed in the bottom of the glass or the vessel, you see that the coin appears to be raised up. If the coin is placed, you can see that it is raised up. So suppose this is your glass tumbler. Okay, this is your glass tumbler and there is a coin here, and when you see, like from a distance, when you see, it appears that this coin appears to be here. Okay, this is the image which appears to be here. So this is nothing but due to the refraction. Okay, this is due to the refraction. Similarly, when you place a glass, that is, if you place a pencil in a glass tumbler, how does that figure appears? It appears that like this. In the figure you see, it appears to be that pencil appears to be bent. Yes, the pencil appears to be bent, but actually is the pencil bent? No, the rays are refracted and it appears that what we see, what the thing comes to in our vision is nothing but the pencil is bent, but actually the pencil is not bent. That is something that because of the light refracted, it is not reflecting, it is getting refracted. That's why it is showing that pencil is being bent there. If you go like with another example, if you take a container. So if we take a container like this, a glass container or an opaque container, you see that we have placed a coin here. Yes, and you are able to see the coin directly like this, isn't it? You can see the coin because of the reflection. Whatever reflection you are seeing, that is nothing but whatever your eyes are able to see is nothing but due to the reflection, right? So what you are going to do is simply going to move far away till the coin is not visible to you. Okay, what you're going to do, you're going to move still more far away. You're just moving far so that the coin is not visible to you. Then what you're doing, what we are doing, you are asking your friend to fill this container with water. So what your friend is doing now, he is filling this container with water. So now when the container is filled, your opaque container is filled with water, what is happening when the rays are falling here, when you are seeing from here, when the rays are falling, what is happening? These rays, they get bent. Okay, these rays, they get bent. So the coin appears to be a little up. So now the coin is visible to us. Now the coin is visible to us. Now you can see the coin because there is some image formed of it. So it appears like the coin is visible, a little up. So if you see a ray diagram, you can see that the coin travels in a straight line. Yes, this travels in a straight line, and when it gets, when it comes into the water, you can see that the ray is bending. Yes, the ray is bending. So you can see that the ray, when it is traveling in a straight line, the diagram, whatever is visible to us, that is in the water. So if there arises a question asking why this ray is bending, so this can be said by the Fermat's principle. This can be explained by Fermat's principle. What did he say? Fermat's principle state that the light ray always travels between 2 points in a path which needs the shortest possible time to cover. For example, we already know that the light travels in a straight path at the shortest traveling distance, that is nothing but in air. If you take air, the light chooses the path to travel in a straight path and very speed. Okay, it will choose the state. It will choose the state in which it can travel fastest. Fine. So here you can see that the light is traveling fastest in the which medium? Air. Vacuum. I hope you all remember. Air or vacuum. You can see that the air travels fastest in the air or the vacuum. And as far as I know, I hope you all remember that the speed of light traveling is nothing but 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. If we see the speed of light, you can see that it is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Whereas if you allow the same light to travel through the water, you can see that the speed decreases. The speed decreases. How it is happening, we will learn further. So with this we can say that the light travels, it chooses its path on its own, and when it is traveling in two different medium, it changes its direction. Okay, it changes its direction when it is traveling in two different mediums like water and air. The path is chosen by the light ray so as to minimize time. It will choose, like light chooses always the path at which they requires less time. Okay, like for example, if you want to go to market and you want to purchase ice cream for yourself, and when you purchase ice cream you want to reach back before it starts melting and at the earliest, so that you can enjoy your ice cream with your family. Fine. Now when you are going to the market, you will choose which path. So as I said, if you want an ice cream and you want to reach your home, definitely will you go with this path or you will go with this path at a shorter distance. So that means you will go with this path rather than this, because you will try to reach the home at the fastest distance, right? Similarly, light also will travel. If you have a light, then it will also travel at the shortest distance. So if you choose your bulb or if you choose your torch, you can see that the light travels at the fastest distance here in a straight line. Yes, it will try to distribute in the atmosphere at the fastest distance. It will take the path which is covering, it will choose a path which is covering a large distance in less time. Large distance in less time. Okay. So from the previous experiment, we have learned that the light changes its path when it is traveling from, like it is moving from one medium, from this medium it is moving to another medium, going to another medium, then you can see that it changes its path. Okay, it changes its path. So this change in the this change, there is because path, how it is changing, because it is changing the there is a change in the speed. So when there is a change in the speed, this will cause to the bending of the rays. Okay, bending of the ray. So this process of changing speed at an interface when light travels from one medium to another medium, resulting in the direction change in the direction. So that means there is a change. Suppose you in one medium the light is traveling in this path, and because there is a change in the when it has passed into second medium, first medium, second medium. So when it has passed into second medium, there is a change in the speed that will cause to the bending of the ray. Okay, bending of the ray. So the process of changing speed at an interface with when light travels from one medium to another medium, resulting in the change in direction, is nothing but refraction of light. So this is nothing but refraction of light. Already discussed that the light traveling in the vacuum is, that is the speed is more. Okay, speed of light traveling in the vacuum is more. Yes, if you say air, it is more high. Okay, and the light which is traveling at the light speed, you can see that in the dense, that is water, you can say it is less. Okay, so simply if we take the light which is traveling in air, we will take the speed of it as v1, and here in water, speed of the light we will take it as v2. Suppose we are taking it like this. If you see that the light, suppose this is a light is traveling through the air, and reaches here, it is the water, and it reaches here in water, and you can see that the light bends. Okay, so this is V1 and this is V2. Fine, this is V1 and V2. So the here speed of the light is V1 and speed of the light here is V2. So you can see that this is the normal, right? This is the normal. This is the normal. Yes. Now you can see that the normal, the ray which is refracted will be closer to the, will move towards the normal. Yes, it will move towards the normal. So the angle of refracted ray is towards the, yani it will be closer to the normal. Fine. And now when we find the V1 is more than V2, okay, V1 is more than V2, then we can say that here V1 is the rarer medium, okay, and V2 is here called as denser medium. Okay, that means the light traveling here, you can see that this is having a good speed, right? So we can say it as rarer medium, and here the speed has decreased, so it becomes denser medium. So if in case the speed of light is more in V2, suppose the V2 is having more speed, then you can call it as rarer medium. If if V1 is having less, means then you can call it as denser. Okay, you can call it as denser medium, vice versa. Okay, if the speed here if the speed is more when compared to V2, then the speed which is having more will be called as rarer medium, and the next one, another medium, is called as denser medium. Suppose the V1 is having more less velocity, that is speed, then you can say it as the V2 here becomes rarer medium and V1 becomes denser medium. Fine. So here if you see this diagram, you can see that, so here if you see, here we have seen this, like this is your incident ray, right? The ray which is coming here, you can see that this is your refractive ray, this is your normal. Yes, so that means the angle formed here is your refractive angle and here incidence angle, right? So with this we can say that this is, again here also we have same thing. We can say that the line which is perpendicular is nothing but normal, and the ray which is incidenting the surface is nothing but incidence ray, right? And the ray here, only the difference is the ray which is getting a little bit bent, that is nothing but refracted ray. Okay, so only this is the difference, only refraction, that is reflected ray, and here you can see that there is a refracted, only this is the difference here we can see. And the extent of ray change in direction that takes place when a light ray propagates through a medium to another medium, then it is expressed in the form of refractive index. How it is given? It is given as refractive index. Fine, it is given as refractive index. Now what is refractive index? Let us know it. So we already know that light travels in a vacuum with a speed of, what is the speed I said? It is the speed of 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Yes, 8 meters per second. We already know this, and this can be denoted by letter C. So that is nothing but C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. So this will be your speed of the light, which is smaller than C in another transparent medium. If you take in another transparent medium where other transparent mediums, you can see that the speed of light will be definitely less than 3 into 10 to the power 8. To know that, how we are able to know? Okay, if V be the speed of light in certain medium, suppose in one medium we will take V as the speed of light, then what is happening? Okay, the ratio of the speed of light in vacuum to be the speed of light in that medium is defined as the refractive index. That is the ratio of speed of light in a vacuum is nothing but air, to the speed of light in that medium, whatever medium, another medium. This is the speed of vacuum. Another medium like water we are taking. So the whatever the ratio we find between the speed of the light in the vacuum and the medium, that is a second medium, that may be water also. I'm just giving an example. Any medium, speed, first we'll take speed of light in vacuum, that is air, by speed of any other medium what you are taking. Suppose we are taking water, then speed of light in the water. This ratio will be the diffractive index. So we can simply write it as absolute refractive index is equal to speed of light in the vacuum, speed of light in vacuum, as we have learnt here, by the speed of light in medium. Now here medium can be anything. Medium can be anything, water or any other transparent medium. Okay. So here how we can write here the speed of light, we have resembled it as V. Yes. And here speed of light in any vacuum medium, transparent medium, we will take it as V. Okay. So now what is the refractive index is equal to N is equal to C by V. Okay, N is equal to C by V. I hope it is clear. Absolute refractive index is equal to speed of light in vacuum, that is in air, by the speed of light in medium. In any medium, it can be any medium, means any medium, any transparent medium. So which is equal to C by V. Okay, therefore N is equal to C by V. Fine. So it is a dimensionless quality because it is a ratio of same physical quantities. Refractive index gives us the idea of how fast or slow the light can travel in a medium. Okay, the speed of a light in a medium is low when the refractive index of the medium is high, and if the refractive index of the medium is low, then the speed of the medium is less. Vice versa, you can say that the speed, if the speed of the medium of the light, the speed of the light in the medium is less, then you can say that the refractive index is more. If you see that speed of the light is more, then you can say that refractive index is less. Suppose the speed of, we are taking example of a glass. Okay, we already know that speed of the light in a vacuum is equal to 3 into 10 to the power 8, right? So we are taking here now the speed of the refractive index of the glass. Okay, if we are taking refractive index of glass 3 by 2. Okay, it's the refractive index is of glass here. So if the refractive index of glass is 3 by 2, then let us find the speed of light in glass. Okay, we don't know the speed of light, right? In the glass, we know the speed of light. In vacuum, we know the refractive index of light, glass. So let us find out. So what we are doing, simply, we are just taking it vice versa. Okay, we are just dividing it. So when we are taking the ratio, what you will get? When we are taking the ratio of this and this, so 3 by 2, 3 into 10 to the power 8. Okay, we will remove this equal to and we will just transfer it here, move it here. So what we will get? 2 by 3 into 3 into 10 to the power 8. Okay, here 3 gets cancelled and the answer resulting is 2 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. So this is the refractive index, speed of light in glass. So when you are comparing the speed of light in glass and speed of light in vacuum, you see that the speed of light in vacuum is more when compared to the speed of light in the glass. So that means this will act as the rarer medium and this will act as the denser medium. So when we see here, the air will become rarer medium and the glass will become as the denser medium. Yes, I hope it is clear, children. So let us know more about this refractive index and different activities we will be doing in our next class. So until then, wait for the next video and revise the video twice or thrice so that you can have a clear picture of the refraction of light on the plane surfaces. So thank you for watching.